Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today I'm talking about 3 ingredients you need to know for dehydrated skin. And no, I'm not talking about glycerin, panthenol, or even hyaluronic acid, okay? Those are all great. No problems there, but maybe you want to learn about some other humectant ingredients that really help to deeply hydrate the skin, but also create long-lasting hydration within the skin. And that's really the trick with dehydrated skin, right? You don't just need hydration, you need that hydration to last. So if you're so ready to dive into these 3 ingredients, first and foremost, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Come join our skincare community, especially if you have dehydrated skin, because I have lots of videos for you. And give the video a big thumbs up. Let's get started. So let's talk about beta-glucan. Now, this is an excellent humectant for the skin. It really brings a lot of hydration, and it is an ingredient that is vegan. It's derived from things like oats, yeast, and even mushroom. What's interesting about beta-glucan is it's actually a really big molecule, but it's a big molecule made up of a lot of smaller molecules, sugar molecules that are also called polysaccharides. Now, this is important because even though it is a big molecule, those smaller molecules are very good at getting deeper into the skin. So we're not talking about surface level hydration here. We're talking about these smaller molecules that can get deep into the dermis, like that middle layer of skin. Now, just so you know, that's actually very deep. Most skincare does not go that deep, but beta-glucan can. And so this is not only important for getting that deep down hydration, because with dehydrated skin, it's like a thirsty beast deep in the skin. And there are some hydrating skincare products that feel like they just sit on top and they're not actually doing anything for you. Beta-glucan gets down in there. And that is really important, not only to hydrate the skin, right, but to create long-lasting hydration as well as that soothing effect. Because when your dehydration is really bad, your skin's feeling a little irritated, inflamed, and itchy, right? Beta-glucan also has proven anti-inflammatory and soothing benefits for the skin. It's also a really good wound healer. So if your skin is sensitized, inflamed, irritated, that the beta-glucan is not only going to hydrate your skin and relieve the dehydration, but it's also going to soothe that itchiness and that irritation, maybe even some of the redness that you have on your skin. Now, what's also very interesting about beta-glucan, making it a very good ingredient for dehydrated skin, especially if you have severely dehydrated skin, it is important that those smaller molecules can get deeper into the skin, because that actually helps to not only create longer lasting hydration, but it can also help to plump and smooth out dehydration wrinkles. Yeah, you know it, because when your skin is so dehydrated, it's like your skin looks so old, right? It looks kind of crepey. It looks like dried out, wrinkly, fine lines appear deeper, right? Especially like around the mouth or around the eyes or on your forehead. And you're like, what the heck is going on? Like, I feel like I aged overnight. And it's not necessarily that you've created all these new wrinkles or this damage to your collagen structure. It's just that your skin is not retaining hydration. Therefore, it's not going to be plump and smooth and bouncy, right? It is going to be a lot thinner. It is going to show more of those dehydration wrinkles. So let's talk about some products with beta-glucan in them. I love the iUNIK Power Moisture Beta-Glucan Serum. This contains 40% of beta-glucan, as well as some allantoin, which is a really great soothing ingredient, great for anti-inflammatory purposes and soothing itchiness and irritation. And as you can see from the ingredients list, it's very simple, very straightforward, and really focused in on the moisture power, right, of beta-glucan. It has this really gorgeous gel texture, sort of medium weight, very, very plumping for the skin. And remember, that is a hallmark of beta-glucan, and we have so much in this product. It glides across the skin really gorgeously, dives in deep, lots of hydration, a true drink of water for thirsty skin. And it definitely holds that hydration deep within the skin. But this gel texture, even though it has like a medium weight and it definitely gives you some bouncy, juicy, plump skin, it's not sticky or tacky at the surface. It definitely absorbs in really, really nicely, and it doesn't feel heavy. It just definitely feels like it is relieving that dehydrated feeling deep within your skin and really giving your skin a lot more bounciness and plumpness that's probably not feeling if it's severely dehydrated. It's so gentle, but it's also incredibly soothing, very, very hydrating, and it makes your skin plump, juicy, and the hydration lasts. This texture is so beautiful. I would really recommend it for any skin type. Another recommendation for you is the Allies of Skin Beta-Glucan and Resvertrol Advanced Hydrating Serum. This product has a really interesting mix of about 8.7% of beta-glucan and ceramides. It's a beta-glucan ceramide complex. Now, the ceramides are actually a really great pair with beta-glucan for dehydrated skin, but there is also a focus on antioxidants. They have absolutely resveratrol here in the ingredients, as the name suggests, and that is a very potent antioxidant, but a couple of other antioxidants in here to not only bring soothing to the skin, but also protection to the skin too. And if your skin is dehydrated, it is a symptom of a weak or damaged moisture barrier. When your moisture barrier is damaged, it's not functioning as a barrier would. And that's actually a two-way barrier, not only to hold hydration in place, but also to help hold out all of the things that can irritate the skin, that can cause inflammation, even, the acne causing bacteria. It is a two-way barrier. And so when your barrier is weak or damaged, yes, it's allowing hydration out, but it may also be allowing things like environmental aggressors, bacteria, pollution, and all of that in, which can further inflame and irritate the skin. And so it does make sense, especially if you're dealing with, as I've mentioned before, severe dehydration. Don't just hydrate your skin. You need to protect your skin and strengthen your skin barrier. And this formula does all of that in one bottle. So it is a little bit pricey, but I actually really do enjoy this product. There are some beta-glucan products out there from even fancier brands for even higher price tags. We're talking like $150 to $200 for a beta-glucan serum. Wild, right? This one is not cheap, but it is definitely something that, based on the formula, like I said, multiple symptoms are going to be covered in one bottle. And I think that it is a lovely serum. It has a much more moisturizing kind of feel to it than the iUNIK serum does, which had that beautiful gel-like texture. This is actually more of like a thin cream-like serum. It's really interesting. It does spread very thinly, even though it looks thick. It spreads thinly across the skin and it absorbs in nice and deep. You do feel some nice hydration with this and this really silky, beautiful, but still light and breathable moisture, that creaminess on top of the skin that actually acts to not only soften and condition the skin. Great if you feel a little bit of dryness, that irritation and that dehydration can kind of feel more like dryness on the skin. So this helps to soothe that just from the texture and moisture alone, but it also just helps to gently hug in the hydration, not only of this serum, but maybe of the rest of the products that you put on underneath it, like a great hydrating toner or essence. And that just helps to hug it all in without overwhelming the skin, sealing it off, or making it feel like it can't breathe. If you don't have as much oil, you're a little bit more combo, or you can tell that you do have some dry patches or dryness on your skin in addition to the dehydration. A serum like this, especially this type of texture and the amount of moisture that it brings to the skin, would definitely be suitable for you. Now let's talk about Ectoin. This is such a fascinating ingredient to me because it really is a jack of all trades. It does so much for the skin. And I think that's why it really is popping up in so many different skincare products now. Over a year ago now at this point, I did make a dedicated video talking about Ectoin because I am so fascinated by this ingredient. And even since that video, there have been so many more products that have come out with this ingredient. So if you're fascinated by it, just like I am, definitely check out the video, do a little bit more of a deep dive and look into even more products that I would recommend with this ingredient. But let's quickly dive into Ectoin because, like I said, it's a jack of all trades. It does a lot. On the surface, Ectoin looks like it's a great humectant for the skin. We definitely want that. Humectants hydrate the skin, and that's what you want when you have dehydrated skin. And it's also classified as an antioxidant. And as I mentioned earlier, that's very important for helping to protect skin because When it's dehydrated, dehydration is the symptom, right, of a weak or damaged moisture barrier. And when your barrier is not working properly, it's not able to defend the skin properly. And so antioxidants help to defend, healthy skin for sure. But when your skin is weak or damaged, you need that defense even more. And so antioxidants can actually play a really helpful role when you're treating your dehydration. What's interesting is Ectoin is considered an extremolite, which is basically a stress protection molecule. It just means that it helps to defend the skin, as we were talking about before. It's kind of an additional defense mechanism in addition to the antioxidant protection that Ectoin provides. Ectoin is also an amino acid derivative, and it is considered an osmolite. Now, this is where it really starts to get interesting, because that means that Ectoin not only hydrates the skin, but it actually helps to balance out the water like levels within skin. It actually helps to create a hydration network, or like a mesh of hydration. These molecules that surround all of the proteins and the enzymes and the cells within our skin to help balance out the hydration, to create long-lasting hydration. And that not only helps to aid our skin barrier, which again needs all the help it can get when you have dehydrated skin, right? But this is also what helps to create that long-lasting deep hydration within the skin that helps to resist that transepidermal water loss process. That's dehydration. The scientific fancy name for dehydration, transepidermal water loss. And not only that, but because it is creating that network of hydration, right, stabilizing all that hydration deep within the skin, it also makes it another ingredient that can help to plump out and smooth out those dehydration lines that you may be seeing when you look in the mirror when your skin is very dehydrated. And not only that, like I said, it's a jack of all trades. Ectoin, yes, it has the antioxidant protective capabilities, but it also has strong capabilities for protecting against blue light as well as environmental stressors. So that also includes things like UV as well as pollution. Particularly, Ectoin is very good at helping to protect and defend against the effects of pollution on our skin. And I know we don't always think about that, but these things, environmental stressors, pollution, even smoke in the air, lots of UV exposure, that actually on healthy skin can wear down your skin barrier and in turn cause damaging inflammation that can lead to the, rapid aging of skin for sure, but also things like irritation, inflammation, and then that will wear down your skin barrier too. But when we're already dealing with a slightly weak or maybe even damaged skin barrier, because again, that's the root cause of the dehydration, your skin is just more vulnerable to these things. So an ingredient like Ectoin that not only treats, the dehydration, but it also helps with your skin barrier, also helps with those dehydration lines. Oh, and it's also a really good antioxidant, particularly good at protecting against these types of environmental stressors that will further wear down your skin barrier, which again is not working the way that it is supposed to. You really do want an ingredient like this on your side. So let's talk about the Paula's Choice 7% Ectoin Booster. So as the name suggests, star ingredient here, Ectoin at 7%. And there's some other great hydrating and moisturizing ingredients here in this booster. Now, the booster, you can definitely use this in combination with other serums, or you could keep things really simple for yourself and use this just like a serum. I personally, for dehydrated skin, I do recommend using a nice hydrating toner and potentially also a nice hydrating essence as well, something nice and gentle, fragrance-free, drying alcohol-free, something to really replenish lots of watery hydration within your skin. And then using a serum like this with the really good high concentrations of the actives that help with dehydration, so like Ectoin. That would be how I would recommend adding this into your dehydrated skincare routine. This has a really lovely, light but creamy moisturizing texture, quite similar in feel to the Allies of Skin beta-glucan serum that we talked about earlier. It is creamy, but as you spread it, it does get a lot lighter on the skin. You will feel the hydration within this product. It's not like deep down super watery, juicy hydration, but you will feel that as it absorbs into the skin, and then you will get that creamy silkiness that's still light and breathable on the top that softens the skin. And actually, the moisture in this feels quite soothing. I do have combination skin, and when my skin is dehydrated, it can really manifest in a way where it feels quite dry. and my skin will really suck up a lot of moisture. And not only will it suck up the moisture itself actually helps to soothe that itchy, irritated feeling that I get with dehydration. But what I've noticed from using this, especially as I started to incorporate it into my routine, as the temperatures have been fluctuating now in early fall when I'm filming this video, my combo skin gets a little bit out of whack and the dehydration levels seem to go up a little bit as well. This really does provide long-lasting hydration. It's the Ectoin, right? That long-lasting hydration network that it creates within your skin. I also want to talk about the Biossance Squalane Firm and Lift Dual Serum. Now, this is a beautiful blend of Ectoin as well as squalane, and that's actually what Biossance is well known for. Actually, before they started releasing skincare products, they were like one of the biggest manufacturers and producers of high-quality squalane oil. Did you know that? I recently learned that within the last year or two, and I was like, that makes so much sense, but I didn't actually know that. What's great about squalane is it's skin identical. So it's actually one of those oils that, you know, when you put it onto your skin, our skin recognizes it like sebum, like our own skin oil. And so it is an oil that a lot of folks find high compatibility with. But what's really interesting about this is, as I mentioned, it's kind of an oil water serum. So it is biphase. There are two layers here, the oil layer, and then we've got that hydrating watery layer. And so this isn't your old, straightforward oil. This actually is very runny, very watery, very thin. It's really fun to mix the two layers together. It does have a skintertainment quality to it. But as you get this onto your skin, you're going to see how easily it spreads, how thinly it spreads across the skin. This is not a heavy, like weighty layer at all. And as it absorbs in, you get deep hydration. It feels watery. It feels very hydrating. You know, Ectoin at play here, right? But then that kiss of the squalane oil, and it really is a kiss, right? Because it is mixed in with all these other humectants and skincare ingredients that really help to balance out that true oil feel. You get the silkiness, you get the richness and the moisture, but you don't get the weight, the heaviness, and the greasiness of like a straightforward facial oil. I do think that some oily skin types will actually enjoy this. You know, I do have combo skin that goes oily in the summer, goes a little bit more dry in the winter. I was actually using the serum a lot this summer, and it just feels so light, so refreshing, but it creates that long-lasting hydration and that kiss of oil that helps to really hug everything in place and help to resist and slow down that transepidermal water loss process, but it didn't weigh my skin down. Now let's talk about ceramides. Duh. I literally wrote that in my notes. Duh. It is a Kelly Driscoll joint. It is a video about dehydration. Yeah, of course I'm going to be talking about ceramides. Now, if you've been a viewer of my channel for a while, you know exactly what I'm going to say and why I'm going to say ceramides are one of the most important ingredients you can be including in your skincare routine when you have dehydrated skin. But if you're new here, I want you to listen up because it's one of the most important ingredients you can use in your skincare routine for dehydrated skin. And here is why. I have been hinting at it the entire video, your skin barrier. So when transepidermal water loss, right, or dehydration occurs, the skin barrier is not like a nice big wall like this. It's like a wall with gaps in it. Like, you know, there are gaps between the bricks because the mortar, right, that goes between the bricks and creates that almost watertight seal. It's worn down. There's little holes. And so that means that the hydration can't escape through the skin barrier. And then once it gets to the outermost surface of skin, that's where it evaporates out. And that's why you feel dehydration a lot more when the air is dry, like in a lot of excessive heating, air conditioning, or even just like desert or arid like climates. Like if your environment is just kind of dry, you don't have a lot of humidity, you might be more prone to dehydration. And often it's because of the hydration sitting close to the surface of our skin. It just right out into the environment. And that's why a strong moisture barrier is really important to help to defend against that. But as I've mentioned now, dehydration or transepidermal water loss, it's a symptom, right? So you don't treat it by just hydrating your skin. That will help soothe the symptom. But ultimately, you have to strengthen up, remember, that weakened or damaged skin barrier. We need to get that mortar, you know, to fill in the gaps for all those bricks. So think about your skin cells like the bricks and think about that mortar that helps to definitely strengthen up the skin barrier, that mortar is ceramides. It's also cholesterol and fatty acids, but really 50% of that mortar is made up of ceramides. Ceramides are like a waxy lipid, and so that's actually why they are so good at just kind of helping to seal up those holes in your skin barrier. So when it comes to recommending ceramide products, I have so many recommendations. It was actually hard to just pick two for this video. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is tell you I have a lot of resources here on my channel. I'm going to actually link a video on screen now with some more ceramide recommendations, as well as put it in the pinned comment for you as well to explore if you need to go deeper into barrier repair and ceramide skincare, because trust me, I have so many recommendations. I'm obsessed and passionate about ceramides and the skin barrier. But for today's video, I'm just going to focus on two that, have really made it into my daily rotation, quite honestly, over the last, one of the products over the last year and the other product over the last like 8 years. So I do want to talk about the Haruharu Black Rice Probiotics Barrier Essence. I really love this one because it actually does have ceramides in it, quite a few different varieties of ceramides, but also the cholesterol and fatty acids that I briefly alluded to as well. Those are other important lipids that make up large ratios of your skin barrier. And so this essence is really focused in not only on strengthening a weak or damaged moisture barrier, but it also helps to feed the health of your skin with the probiotic content. The black rice also helps to revive a dull complexion, which is definitely a byproduct of dehydrated skin and a weak or damaged moisture barrier. Your skin's just not really glowing, right? So this product's actually really great if your skin barrier is weak or damaged, or if you're just looking to keep your skin barrier and the health of your skin in optimal shape. This is actually like just that right kind of formulation for that. And so it has this really gorgeous creamy texture to it. This is really one of the thickest essences I've ever tried in my life. This really is more geared towards dry skin, quite honestly, although I know there's some oily folks who use this like a moisturizer. Don't put on too much though. Just a few drops of this, a restrained amount will actually go a long way, especially if you do have a slightly more oily skin type. Now, if your skin is really dry, your skin's going to drink this in, but it is so moisturizing. It's actually quite hydrating and plumping as well, but really moisturizing, really silky, rich, and quite like a lot of the creamy serums that we talked about, deep dive with hydration and lots of creamy silkiness on top that helps to hold that hydration in place. It's really impossible for me to talk about skin barrier repair and dehydrated skin without talking about Stratia Lipid Gold, because this is the product that I used all the way back in 2018 when I when I broke my skin barrier. It was so bad, and I struggled at that point in time because there weren't as many resources and as much education online about damaged skin barriers or even just dehydrated skin back in the day. Surprisingly, there just really wasn't back then. I was really stumbling in the dark to figure things out. And once I really started to understand that this, this severe dehydration was actually a damaged skin barrier, that got me onto the right track. And then I started learning about ceramides and how it makes up 50% of your skin barrier, and how, ceramide focused skincare can actually help to repair that damaged skin barrier. And not only ceramides, but the cholesterol and the fatty acids too. These are really the three, I call them now the holy trinity, because gosh, these amazing ingredients help to save my skin. And so the product that I ultimately landed on all the way back then to help heal my broken skin barrier was Stratia Lipid Gold. So this is an interesting product that I would describe as a serum lotion hybrid. There's a lot of flexibility with how you use this just based on the texture, because you can see that it is creamy, but it definitely has a slightly more lotion-like texture than some of the more runny, creamy serums or even the Haruharu essence that we talked about. So this could be used as a lotion-like serum in your skincare routine. I would definitely recommend, as I said earlier, using a hydrating watery toner and or essence prior to using this product in a serum step. And then you can use a moisturizer right on top of this. This is great for combo dry skin folks. That would be a great way to use this because while it is a thin lotion-like texture, there are some oils in this formula that actually bring a richness, a nice moisturization to this product. And it also helps to provide some of the fatty acid content in the product as well. And so just know that there is, while it is light, it is rich. And so it's can function as a serum, but it can also function as a final layer, as a moisturizer for more oily folks. So I'm curious, are there any skincare ingredients that really help you with dehydrated skin? Let us all know in the comments below. And again, if you love this video and it was helpful for you, but you haven't hit subscribe, please, before you go, hit subscribe. Come join our skincare community, especially if your skin is dehydrated or you struggle with a weak or damaged moisture barrier. I am so passionate about that, and I have tons and tons of videos on those very topics. Definitely hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today, and I just want to encourage you to keep shining your light. I can't wait to talk to you in the next video. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.